Hello and welcome to pmclounge.com. In this video, we are talking about project manager salaries in South Korea. Now, if you don't know where South Korea is, it's basically an Asian country, and this is where South Korea is located on the world map, right? This is where you can see South Korea. It's pretty much next to Japan. North Korea is one of their obvious neighbors as well, and then there's China, of course. Economically, South Korea is actually doing pretty well, and the currency of South Korea is called South Korean won, or is it won? Let me know in the comments if you know what the correct pronunciation of this currency really is. But what's surprising is that $1 is equals to 1293.74 South Korean won. So that's the kind of currency that South Korea has, and that's the basically the conversion rate of the currency. The reason I told you the conversion rate is that the numbers you're going to see in this video will be in South Korean currency itself, the South Korean won or won, whatever its correct pronunciation is. Now, whenever we do videos like these, we basically refer to a PMI report known as the salary survey. All copyrights acknowledged, no copyrights infringement intended. Get yourselves the PMI membership, which comes with loads of benefits, including access to reports like these. In this video, we'll only look at numbers for South Korea, but we have covered some other countries in the past as well. I'll share a link in the description below. The first link that is going to take you to an entire playlist of all the countries that we have covered so far. If you want us to cover any specific countries, let me know in the comments as well. Now, in addition to understanding the salary of a project manager in South Korea, we will also be able to find answers to some basic questions. What kind of education should you have to be able to make the most in South Korea? Which department and which industry pays the most in South Korea? How big the organization should be, which you should join to be able to make the most, right? Do startups pay well, or do larger organizations pay well? How many hours are people working in South Korea, right? So you will find answers to questions like these. And with that being clear, let me share the numbers for South Korea. Now, this is the local currency, South Korean won, and these are the annual figures, annual salary figures. And we are looking at median because median is closest to reality. So the salary of a project manager in South Korea is 80 million South Korean won. And I hope now you realize why it was important for me to tell you the conversion rate upfront, so that you can have a context of what you can make of this 80 million South Korean won currency. The total compensation, which can include bonuses and other components as well, that is 90 million annual. Now, how has the last 12 months been? 34% people surveyed said that their salary actually remained the same in the last 12 months. 21% got a hike of 1 to 3%, and 14% got a hike of 3 to 4%. Now, how does the next 12 month look like? So, 34% people think that their salary is going to remain the same even in the next 12 months. 15% each are expecting a hike of 1 to 4%. And then you have 14% people who think that they are going to get a hike of 5 to 6.9%. Let's talk about annualized salary by position description. What positions pay the most? And nothing out of ordinary here, because you typically see the director of PMO making the most, which is also the case here, although it's not highlighted. But director of PMO is the person who's making the most. This is essentially the project management hierarchy. And then, of course, you have project management consultants as well, who are making about 80 million South Korean won per year. Annualized salary by years of work experience. As your work experience increases, that you can see here, your salary is also going to rise. That is also same for years worked in project management. As you clock more years in project management profession, your salary is going to rise as well. Annualized salary by highest formal education level obtained. And this is where I mentioned what kind of education you should have to be able to earn the most if you are in South Korea or if you want to move to South Korea. And a master's degree is something that is going to pay the most. In fact, having a degree in project management is also good enough. Although, if you don't have a degree in project management, that is also fine because there's no difference in salary when it comes to someone with a project management degree against someone who does not have a project management degree. But having a PMP is definitely a plus because getting yourselves the PMP certification gives you the opportunity to make more than someone who does not have a PMP certification. There's no data for females here, so we don't know what the annualized salary by gender really is. But most of the countries out there, they do have a pay gap. Let's talk about analyzed salary by department. You should target administration or general management or research and development. These are the two departments that pay the most. And what are the industries that are paying the most? Construction and telecommunication. Actually, telecommunication tops the list here. So, do you know one of the largest companies from telecommunications industry out there, and it belongs to South Korea? Let me know in the comments if you know the answer to that. All right, let's talk about analyzed salary by number of employees in entire organization. So in South Korea, large organizations pay the most. So forget startups, go for large organization, as big organization as possible, because they are the ones that are paying higher salaries as compared to smaller organizations. Average project team size and average project budget, what your salary is going to be, totally depends on how big of a team you're managing or what is the budget of the project that you're managing. Right now, let's talk about the mean hours worked by position description. Everyone is expected to work a little over 40 hours. So it's essentially 5 days a week, but 2-3 hours extra is what everyone is expected to work. People also report working around 48 hours, which is almost like 6 days in a week. But that is where South Korea is. One thing that I found a little bit surprising was that people are expected to work more than 40 hours itself. So that's just the expectation. And reality is where people are working quite a bit more than the expected 42 or 43 hours. So that's South Korea for you. I hope you got value out of this video. We are all about PMP. We are all about project management. Check out our playlists. Everything is available for free if you are preparing for your PMP exam. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.